had a gentleman contact me a couple months ago here in Cincinnati whose website was built in 2002 and hasn't been updated since. And at the bottom of his homepage, it said copyright 2002, and he needed help with SEO. And I said, yes, you do. Well, think about it. If your website's 8-page old and hasn't been updated lately, the content's 8 years old. So Google's thinking, everything else being equal, if this site over here has similar content that was updated last Tuesday, and this other site hasn't had content updated in 8 years, they're going to try to give preference to the one that's been updated more recently. First step is you choose terms you're going to target for your efforts. What do you want to come up for in Google when someone does a search? What phrase, what search term, what search query? So you want to think about what you want to optimize for, what terms you want to come up for. You then include those terms in your content. You add your content to the web, and then hopefully you measure the results and you refine your strategy. And then repeat, because it's an ongoing process. Google is factoring hundreds and hundreds of different things into account to try and determine who should we put up first, second, third, fourth, fifth when someone does a search result. And of course, that's done in like hundredths of a second. If you ever do a search in Google, up in the corner it says 1.2 million results brought back in 0.0037 seconds. That's how fast they scan their servers and they spit out information. Google now is really tailoring search results based on who is searching. So for example, like I use Gmail for my personal email, so I have a Google account. If I'm on a machine that I'm logged into with Gmail, Google is then associating all my organic search activity with what I've done in the past and is therefore tailoring the results a little bit to what I do. Anchor text on external sites to the page is another component. That is, if the search query in question or the keyword in question is on an external site and they have made that word the actual hyperlink to your site, that's called anchor text. Google loves to see that. So if they see the phrase Cincinnati Public Relations on some external site and it links to your site, that would be called anchor text. And Google thinks, well, someone else thought that this page had information or is an authority on the subject Cincinnati Public Relations because they linked to it with that term. Therefore, it's probably got some good content, and that really helps you out. When you upload a video to YouTube, you can select the title. Don't just whatever video program gave you .avi, change it to put keywords in it if you can. Think about what do I want to come up for? Can I include that in the title of the video? Then you get to write a description for the video, which amazingly enough is very similar to a meta page title or a meta description for search engines. And then you get to have tags, i.e. that's another way to say keywords for your video. Put those in there. Take the time to do that. Don't just type something in there. Think about, okay, if I want this video to come up for Cincinnati Public Relations, whatever the phrase is, stick that in the title of the video. Stick it in the description of the video. If you want people to go to a certain web page after viewing the video on YouTube, add a hyperlink to it to the video description so people can click on it and go to the page. That helps you with link popularity. It's not only a way to people, and Google can see that. So yeah, people might actually click on that link and then go to the page, but then Google is seeing more links to that page and therefore it helps you link popularity. With respect to Pitch Engine does give you a few stats on how many people clicked on it, but then hopefully in another browser window, if you can pull up your Google Analytics data and see, okay, we've put out this press release on May 12th, and our traffic from Google spiked that day, and you can pull up the data for May 12th and see what keywords you came up for, that type of thing. You can really track it on the back end, which is something I encourage everybody to do. Should I focus my efforts on trying to get listings in Bing or Yahoo or Google? I would say number one, Google's got more market share and traffic, so you'd rather be number one for a certain word in Google than you would Bing, just in terms of traffic. But also, if you optimize well for Google and Yahoo and Bing and all the other smaller search engines, mimic how Google does things, you'll in essence be optimizing for those other engines because you're optimizing for Google. Really, there's only 3 search engines that really matter in the United States right now: Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Almost all the other search engines that are out there use their results. Think about terms you're trying to target. Include those terms that you want to come up for in a search engine in your content, particularly or especially the page title tag of the web page. Keep it less than 72 characters or so. Include your page title in the title or headline of press releases, blog posts, videos. And again, maybe it's not a new page. Maybe you do a video or you do a blog post with that phrase in it. The meta description tag is a 1 to 2 sentence summary of less than 170 characters. Keep keywords in the rest of your page. The tags field of blog posts, YouTube videos. The names of pages, as I went over. Alt tags I went over. Cross-link your content and social sites using keywords in those links or anchor text if you can. Include links to related external sites. If you cite, let's say some organization puts out a release that Forbes magazine named us the best small company in the Midwest or whatever, link to Forbes, link to that article. Therefore, Google's going to see that link, and again, you're not only giving people a helpful link, but you're telling the search engines that, hey, we're trying to pass along information and help people out with relevant, good info. Try to get inbound links. If you're a nonprofit and you've got 5 major sponsors, ask them to link to you.
In our line of business, it's important for our prospective clients to be able to find us. We have a large e-business group that I'm quite sure that's quite a bit of it, but it is good for us as we prepare news releases and work with the media to be able to use the search terms that are useful, that will help us to get our name out there.
It was a great reminder just for the basics of search engine optimization, just things to keep in mind, looking at our own website, just to continuously go back and look at it, look at it at least quarterly. Some great tips about making sure the file names and alt tags on photos, those are things we don't always think about when we're creating a page. So to be able to go back and take a look at that, I think will be really great for our business.
I got several take-home points I'll use right away with clients. One of them was about social media news releases, which is a thing called Pitch Engine, and I'm going to use that this week. So this was great. This is a great program.